Hello FFO, my name is Tamara. Welcome to my channel Tamara Cross Stitch. Today's video is going to be a whip parade video. Generally speaking, it's a video where I want to sum up, to wrap up the winter projects. I declare myself as a stitcher who stitches seasonally, kind of like I am dying if I'm stitching Santa in summer and I cannot stitch flowers in winter. Of course, we can stitch everything every time. It's just I prefer stitching certain topics, or how would I say, when for example, stitching Halloween when it's October, stitching autumn when it's autumn, stitching Santa when it's around like New Year, things like this. That's why usually when a season starts, I'm kind of declaring my projects which are planned for that season, or at least I want to start to stitch that season. So this winter, the winter of 2025, I have stitched and finished 17 projects, out of which one wasn't stitched completely in winter. That one came from autumn, but I wanted to finish it. And that one is the only unfinished design, meaning like it's not framed, it's not finished into anything. And the rest of the design, 16, which were started, stitched and finished during this winter, all of them are finished, which is a great joy for me. Recently, I kind of like half a year, then even more, I think half a year, I started appreciating very much when the designs, when my projects are being finished, framed, finished into, I don't know, pin cushions, because you know, like if you're finishing it into a frame seasonally, you can change like on the wall. If you have like pin cushions, you can put them in a tray and they can like lie nicely on a shelf of your hand made corner. So yeah, because until they are finished, they are just beautiful pieces of cloth, expensive ones, and the ones which took a lot of our time, something like this. Okay, let me start with showing you what I have stitched and finished this winter. And let me start with the bell pulls. I have Just Nan Gingham Christmas design. This one was a great wish of mine. I remember that I was looking for it, to buy it. I kind of insisted to find it with the gingham linen, because it's, how would I say, thing is to stitch on this linen. And I complained 100 times, and I will complain today as well, that stitching, especially on this dark red natural gingham linen, was especially difficult for me. It was my second design by Just Nan stitched on this linen, because previously I have a design stitched on pink gingham, and I have a design stitched, it's not from Gratiano, it's from Wigs That Work, but also it's natural gingham. So I have kind of like 1, 2, 3. This is the fourth design by Just Nan stitched on this kind of linen. And if I'm not wrong, there aren't any other designs stitched on gingham linen. So I stitched them all. I think so. As I said, it was a design which I was kind of chasing. I found it, and like it was in my stash for 2 years, I think, because I was thinking every Christmas, I have to stitch this one, I want to stitch this one. And finally, I took it out, I pulled it out of my stash and started stitching it. It was a longer stitch than usual. I was kind of, but I like it. I like it so much. After I finished it, I haven't I finished stitching it. I haven't finished it into anything because I was kind of tired. Then I took my time, came into senses and said, okay, let's try finishing. I knew that I wanted a bell pull, so I didn't want being finished in a frame. I found such bell pulls this up from Frame Craft. They are wooden. This one, this string they already had, and I finished it like this. And it was on display because after this video I'm going to take all my winter Christmas designs and I'm going to put them in the big box where I usually keep them, and get the box with the spring designs, and I'm going to stitch the spring designs. Yeah, beautiful one. Happy that I finally stitched it. Okay, and the second bell pull, this one is a Mill Hill one. It was taken from a Mill Hill booklet, which I'm showing like in my last months, in my last videos for a lot of times, because I stitched 2 designs from it. It was a design which I fell in love from first. It was love from first sight when I saw it on on the cover, because it's pretty difficult to see the designs, but I fell in love and I said, okay, if I'm going to find this band linen with Christmas trees here, I'm going to do it. You can take any band linen, or I mean, like, you can take even a piece of raw linen and make it into this shape when you are finishing it. But I think it's a special thing is this Christmas trees on this side. And it was an easy stitch, quick stitch, comparing to the other one which I stitched, and I like it. Look, Santa here has in his sleigh a teddy, a lot of Christmas trees, stars and the moon. Nice one. I like this one. Beautiful. And I finished it like I had this one in my stash. I mean, the stick. The cord also, it's from my stash. And the tassel was purchased when I was buying the materials. I knew that I wanted a tassel here, so I was looking for a tassel which would be the appropriate color. Yeah. So these are the bell pulls I have. And let's continue to smaller designs. Of course, I have just Nans. First, I wanted to show you such a pin cushion. So this design is called Christmas Corners, and for those who are going to buy the fabric for this design, I mean, like, you know that fabric comes separately, so you can buy only the chart, or if you want the fabric is packed like separately with the embellishment pack. So, and there is a piece of thin cardboard within or inside which it's the fabric. When you open that cardboard, I didn't know about that, and I didn't see in any video about that. For me, it was a surprise, but there was a chart called Christmas Corners. I tried to find this one being stitched. I found 2, I think, designs on Pinterest, if I'm not wrong. They were, one of them, it was finished in a how it's called, in a biscornu, and I thought about finishing this one into a biscornu, but I said that I want a pin cushion. I don't know why I said that I want a pin cushion. At first, when I looked there, I was sure that this one is going to be stitched also on this gingham fabric, but no, thanks God, it wasn't. I don't remember which fabric they recommended, kind of gingerbread, I think, something like that. I chose from my leftovers, something which I already had, and I thought that it's going to be appropriate for this color of threads. And it turned out a very beautiful design, actually, and I'm happy that I did it. I decided here in the center it should be golden snowflake charm. They are used in several designs by Just Nan. I decided not to, and I have that charm. The interesting thing is that I have it, but I decided that I would make kind of a pin cushion with the center as a, how do I say, as a biscornu center, you see? Kind of like this. It's not the first time I did such a design. And I remember that I had some Swarovski buttons in the color, you know, beautiful green Christmas color. And I said, okay, I'm going to use this one. And I used it. And this is how it looks like. On the back, I didn't stitch anything. And I made like, I'm hanging it on my tree, seasonal tree, and it has such a thing. Probably it would have been good. It would have been a good idea to have something here, but didn't think at the time. Didn't do it. I don't have it. But nevertheless, it's a very, very beautiful design. I like it a lot, I would say. Then I stitched one of my great dreams and wishes. This is the Christmas workshop. I was dreaming about this one, honestly, and I was thinking about stitching this one from scratch, because you know that the design is an exclusive for silver needle, is pretty rare and pretty expensive. Yes, I won't say that, no. And last year, not last year, like not 24, 23, I think, I had the great luck at 5 o'clock in the morning to buy it. Yes, I found it. It was on eBay. Somebody probably put it there for sale during the night, because I cannot explain myself otherwise, because if it was there from the previous day, for sure somebody would have bought it for such a price. And as I wake up every morning very early, I'm saying goodbye to my husband, doing the coffee for him. I cannot sleep anymore, and I use that time as my morning stitch. By the way, this is the most productive stitching hours I have. I usually, because my child is sleeping, my husband is going to work, I am like having my AirPods, listening to podcast. It depends what I'm stitching. If it's not something complicated, I can watch videos on FlossTube. If it's something complicated and it requires my eyesight, I'm listening to podcasts. And I do almost 3 hours of stitching, because my child is waking up at 8 o'clock usually. If he's not, I'm waking him up and then having like breakfast, because we start school at 9 and we live next to the school, so we have 5 minutes walk to school. So I have 3 hours of stitch full, and this is the because many times you make me, I consider them a compliment, that oh, you stitch so quickly. No, it's not that I'm stitching. Okay, maybe I'm stitching quicker because I stitch a lot, but it's not the speed. My how do I say? My secret, it's not the speed, it's the fact that I have stitching hours. So imagine 3 stitching hours when nobody's bothering you. Nobody's bothering you. You won't do anything in the house because, okay, I don't want to walk him. I wouldn't like start doing chores in the house because I don't want to wake him up. That's why I kind of stitch. And I have like my best stitch is that time. Then during the day, I have things to do. So sometimes I don't have so many things to do. And of course, I'm dedicating that time for cross stitch. If I don't have, as I said, to film something, to go do shopping and other things. So yeah. 5 o'clock in the morning, when I was having my coffee before starting stitching, I opened eBay and I saw it being sold, and with Pamela's final touches, with everything, and I was wow. And by the way, I have the I would say strange thing when I'm finding an unicorn and I'm buying it, I am not totally happy until I'm getting it delivered and it's in my hands and I'm opening the package and I'm checking it. I'm not totally happy, because you know it happens that I don't know, I'm just thinking for myself, oh my god, what if the seller decides not to sell? What if Royal Mail is going to lose the parcel? You see, that's why until I have it in my hands, I'm not 100% happy. So when I had this one in my hands, I said, wow. That's why I decided that I'm going to stitch it. This one, this kind of pyramid houses, Jasnan has 6, I think. Yes. So there are like the ones which have the mice inside. I mean, like the seasonal plus Christmas. Those are new. I have them and they are new. I haven't stitched them yet, but this one was a great wish of mine, and say, okay, I'm going to start with this one. Yeah. You see inside also it's Gingham fabric, this one, yes. And with this one, yeah, with this one for sure, I stitched all the designs from just now, which imply Gingham fabric. This is how it looks like. I am happy how the construction went, because I'm not very good at making these corners okay, but now when you are doing like this, they align pretty good. Not perfect, I'm not perfect, but pretty good, I would say. Not a lot of stitching, by the way, here, so it was a quick stitch, I would say. Here, where I made these pockets, I changed some of the charms because I wanted them to be Christmas, because there was a beehive, it was the, what else, a peacock. Yeah, I understand their meaning, but I wanted them to be totally Christmas. So this one, it was a, so this is the snowflake I told you, it should have been here. This kind of snowflake, it should have been like here. And this one was supposed to be a pin cushion with such a snowflake in the middle, kind of. So the snowflake is the Christmas tree. It's supposed to be a needle rest. Here is the cutter, and here is the needle threader, something like this. And here is the wax for needles, and it's a star. And I even made the Christmas tree, felt Christmas tree. Mine comes with a magnet here, and you see, it comes like this. I like it. I like it so much. Okay, and on the front side of the face, it has a lot of elves. So they come in different colors, but they repeat, like the blue ones, they are exactly as these blue ones. These red ones are exactly as these red ones. And here is also gingham and a bit of stitching. And here it was easy to stitch on this gingham because it's not a lot of elements, and this one also was like with the pack kit I purchased. When I finished it, it was said that to align it like this, use pins, you see, sewing pins to use here so that it would get the form. And I left it like overnight, as it was said in Pamela's final touches. And yeah, in the morning it was like staying like that, and when you're putting, you see, it stays. But in time, anyway, it tends to open. That's why now I'm thinking that for winterizing, like when it's not going to be on display, to use pins here so that it would be like this. Yeah, a beautiful design. So happy that I stitched it. And after this design was stitched and finished, an elf mania got me, because I stitched a lot of elves. So I took an elf from this design. I took one of the elves in red and I stitched it. I wanted a pin cushion. I remembered that other design, Christmas, don't remember how it's called, has this kind of elf, and that one is finished as a scissor fob, if I'm not wrong, and it's a pin keep, an oval pin keep. And I said, okay, I don't want an oval pin keep, but I can do a little pin cushion like this. And I stitched one of the elves in red, and I made the back of the pin cushion. Yes, gingham fabric. Yes, it was the winter of gingham fabric. And here I made my favorite type of tassel. I mean, like bead tassel with a Swarovski beacon here. And so this one is a jewel. Not so much stitch, but with everything it has, it's a beautiful jewel, I would say. Yeah. And as I said, Elf Mania started and I continued. I stitched Ollie and Holly, the two elves from Mill Hill. They were kids. I had them for pretty long time in my stash, and every winter I said, okay, let me stitch them. I like their legs a lot. And I stitched them. They are on perforated paper, so everything is from the kit, and just the back I attached felt, which comes in the color of the perforated paper. Here is a bit of cranic, and they are also hanging on my seasonal tree, let's say so, because it was Christmas, now it's going to be springish, how they say, summer. Then I have such an elf. This one is from a Russian cross stitcher who she is a painter, so by her job is being a painter. She's very creative, and she created such kits because they were kits I purchased from her, of elves. She has 2 more elves and with other instruments. So the drums and the sticks for the drums she made herself. So this one come from matches, you know, like matches. And this one she made from clay, I think. From clay, if I'm not. And she painted it manually by herself. So yeah, it's a great job to be done. And so you stitch the elf. The kit contained the back fabric. You fill it in, you see. You attach the drum and the sticks, and it had a clamp, I don't know how to call it, and you're supposed to put it here, and you like attach it on the it stands like this on the Christmas tree. I didn't want a standing one. I decided that I'm going to use an ULI thread here, invisible one, and I'm going to hang it. But when I finished it, it was so nice that I'm using it. I have a house, a mini house, kind of a doll house. I don't know how to call it. But it's smaller than a doll house. It's from Hobbycraft. And there I usually put my little Just Nan seasonal ones. And he stands there so nicely, and I didn't want him hanging. At least not yet. Not yet. Beautiful one. Then, as the elf mania didn't leave me, I remember that I had from Just Nan such a design. This is a pretty newly released design. Don't remember which year was released. And I said that, okay, let me take and stitch this one. And this one is, so originally it has to be stitched on 30-second count. And I thought that it's going to be too small. And I took 28th, so my pin cushion is bigger. This comes just the chart and the beads, which are their noses, and this one. And when I was stitching it, it's a super duper quick stitch. When I was stitching it, I thought, why not finishing it like this one? Because I like this form of pin cushions, like being hanged and decorating something, you see. And I said, why not decorating it like this? And say, okay, I'm going to use this bead to like do it like this. It was flex linen. Don't remember if it was recommended the flex one, but I remember using the flex one. Probably yes, it's the recommended linen. Here is a big bead from Mill Hill used. And then I decided to do tassels again, but I didn't do this kind of tassel. You see, here it comes like this. But here it has Beconosis, Swarovski Beconosis. And the beads were found in they are leftovers, you see. And I tried to combine the beads so that they would look exactly as the fabric, the beads which are used like in the design. I'm happy. I'm very happy about how this one turned to be. You know, when I started stitching it, I said, oh, this one is going to be a boring design. But apparently everything depends on how you are finishing it. You can make it very unboring. Okay. Then I have 3 bags from Shepherd's Bush. Like I have finished 3 bags, 4, but 3 this season. I have a total of 5 bags, all of the bags I think, which Shepherd's Bush released, because it was a time when I was buying a lot of rolls, and I tried to buy all the bags. So the Easter bag was stitched kind of like in Easter time 2 years ago, I think. And I kind of forgot about them. And the thing was that I was getting ready for the whip parade, or like the whip parade of the year, like in the end of 24. And I I was counting all the designs, and I realized that I have 49. And I said, okay, 49, when you make a whip parade, it's 49. But when you say 50, this is half of 100. And I told myself I have to stitch something quickly, because I had an evening, I think, like to stitch and finish if to finish something. My first idea was to take a Mill Hill, this kind of Mill Hill, and I had like winter Mill Hills, and stitch it and like stick felt on the other side, and that's it. You have ready work. But then I remembered that I have these bags, and I have started one. Like I did one, I finished one, and the others are not finished. And I'm a person who takes very much care and attention into serious continuation. And I looked in my stash and found them, and took out all of them. And I said, okay, if I'm going to take them out and try to stitch every season when it's season, each of them, I'm going to have them finished. And I almost finished them, you see. It was a good idea. So I took the Christmas one, stitched it, finished it, and had so I would say this was the 50th design of 24. Yeah, for me, these ones are easy stitch, because everything which is here, it's not a lot. You are stitching it quickly. It depends how quick you are on this hem stitch. I already learned to do it quickly, the hem stitch. And then you are just, you have a sewing line here, you have a sewing line here, and you attach the charms to the small ribbon. You put the ribbons here, and that's it. You fill it in with whatever you want, and you have the already finished design. And in such a way, I restarted the bag series. Then I said that I'm going to continue doing them, and apparently I had the opportunity, the season allowed me to do this. And the next one was snow, like the winter one. Such a bag. And I made this one, and the most recent, it was the Valentine heart, my heart for V. This one, like this one is ready and it's done. I showed it to you, and that's it with the shepherd's bush treat bags. And if we speak about hearts, yes, for Valentine's Day I said that I'm going to have more hearts. I stitched Valentine heart by Mill Hill, and finished it into a pink cushion. So the how it's called, even weave was dyed by me. I stitched it according to the key. The only thing is that here it was the background. It should have been stitched with pink color. I didn't do it because I didn't have perforated paper, but I have fabric. The rest of it is done as to the original kit, and I changed the button which was in the kit with treasure, with how to say, heart, treasure heart, and did like on the edges with biscore new stitch, adding beads, the same color of beads which were used here. Lovely one. I loved very much, like stitching it, very much finishing it. Very, very lovely one. And that's everything with these small things. I have 4 more designs, like big ones. Big ones, yes, I would say bigger ones. And the design which served as a background almost the whole video, this is Annabelle, the stitcher from Heritage by John Clayton. And this one is the design which wasn't stitched totally like in winter. This one was started in November, because on the 10th of November is the Cross Stitchers Day. And due to that day, I started stitching her. She was a newly purchased kit. I stitched, and when December came, I had a half or even more than a half, I don't remember, but it was a lot. It was a lot, and I said that, okay, this is not like kind of, I started it in autumn because it was the Stitcher's Day and she's stitching. Like on her window, we can see that it's not winter, but I wanted to finish her. I didn't want like to freeze this design and not do anything. That's why I said that I'm going to continue, and continued it in December and finished her. So this is the only unframed design I have from this winter. Yes, and I'm thinking about framing it by myself. Still thinking about it. So no, not decided yet. A very beautiful design. Of course, I told all the details in the videos which where I spoke about this design. That's why I'm not going to stop with those details. And the last 3 designs, these are framed designs. Yes, I have only 3 framed. So this is the Midnight Santa, which was taken from the booklet 40 years, sorry, not 50, 40 years of Witchell imports. And this would be the second design I stitched from that book. The interesting thing is that I purchased that book because of Jim Shore's Mill Hill Jim Shore design pineapple, welcome pineapple, and I haven't stitched that one yet. I stitched cat, Lucky, the black cat. I stitched Midnight Santa, but not that one. The thing is that when I purchased that book, it was almost 2 years ago, I think, I don't remember. The thing is, when I purchased it, I looked through it, I decided what I want to stitch, like for sure I like that design and I would stitch it. And I tried looking for Mill Hill ceramic buttons, because it was the time when you still could find those Jim Shore buttons, you know, but now they are rare find. And I was buying Jim Shore buttons, and where I could find another buttons, I was purchasing them. And for this design, I was lucky to find the buttons. I purchased them. I said, okay, let it be. I'm going to stitch it, because if I wouldn't have found the right buttons, probably I wouldn't have stitched it. Then buying like the perforated paper, the beads, the frame, it was not a problem. It's a very beautiful design because it's stitched on a different, how do I say, you are making a sandwich out of it, because the outer frame, this frame, and Santa, they are being stitched on brown perforated paper. The background is stitched on dark blue and navy perforated paper, and you are putting everything together. You're attaching the buttons. Beautiful. I had in the beginning of the idea that I'm going to buy my own frame, because it's supposed to be a frame 8 by 8 inches, and I found something, but I didn't like it, and I said, okay, I managed to find the buttons, the materials according to the key. Why not buying a Mill Hill like a frame, which they are recommending, and do it like as I am supposed to do. And I did it. Beautiful, beautiful design. Love it. Then next one is a design from a kit. The kit is called Chewek. The design, how the design is called, I don't know. I'm calling it like Christmas Kiss because I have a Wedgwood decorative plate with the same scene, and I like it very much. It's the vintage thing. I purchased it like it was before the Christmas, like not, you know, autumn, I think. I don't remember when. But the thing is that I wanted to stitch this one. It's a very quick, easy stitch. The thing is that I changed the fabric. It was a huge count fabric there. It was the 11th count. I changed it. And like it, love it. Say it as you want it. But it's nice. It's very, very nice. And as I have the plate, I thought that I would frame it into a round frame, so that I would put it like on the plate display, you know, like they are going to be together. And this is the white frame I found. I said that if I'm going to find the mistletoe to decorate here, because usually before Christmas you can find a lot of decorations. So if I'm going to find, I'm going to decorate this one. But otherwise it's beautiful. I like it very much. And the last one, but not the least, it's the Santa sleigh ride, I think it's called. I'm always forgetting how it's called, but it doesn't matter because the design is beautiful, very beautiful. This comes from the same booklet from Mill Hill, Santa, don't remember how it's called, but I showed it in all my videos this winter. First I saw the bell pull, I liked it very much. Then I saw next to the bell pull this design, and I said, okay, let me try, because the preview, I couldn't even call that one a preview. It's very, very small. I tried to make it larger, but from what I could see, I said it's going to be a beautiful design. It took me a year to get together everything, because there are many treasures which are rare, they're out of print, you can find them, but you have to look for them. There are treasures which are not out of print, but you need kind of like 2, 3, 4 packs. And when I was making purchases, I was kind of little by little buying the packs with the treasures, so that like in the end of the year, I had everything put together. The silk threads, the green silk thread, which was needed, the beads, because there were a lot of beads, you know, and till the end I had everything together, because the DMC, the little DMC threads which were needed here, I had it in my stash. Even the anchor thread, which variegated one, I had it in my stash. The fabric was from my stash. So yeah, and it took a long time. It was a long stitch, I would say, but it worked. It works because it's beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. I am even more grateful and happy that I managed to find this frame, because I think this frame is beautiful for it. And the work turned out to be framed as well. So this would be all the designs I stitched during this winter. I would say it's not a bad result, taking into consideration that I had like 2 weeks when I haven't stitched. I traveled and haven't stitched at all. So yeah, good, nice. Now I'm getting ready for spring designs, which you are going to see in my next videos. And until then, bye bye.